Secure Facility Dossier, Site-55. Researcher Rex Alces sat in the back of the Foundation transport assigned to transfer him to Site-55. He had previously been a lab technician at Site-19, which had been way too big and had way too many things going on at once. All things told, he had been a mess ever since he started working for the Foundation. The stress of working under the biggest names and egos of the anomalous world had gotten to him in a rather messy way. Rex had suffered a panic attack while on the job. It wasn't that he didn't know what he was doing. Far from it, he had known well enough that he was working with a capital A anomaly. Pressure of being observed by a site director and 3 level 5 personnel really got to him. It wasn't pretty. They had to physically carry him out. He stayed in his dorm for 3 days after that. As soon as he emerged, he found out he was being transferred to some site on the New England coast to be someone's assistant. And now he found himself here in the back of some dingy Foundation transport vehicle, alone. At least he would soon have company again. Rex sighed and looked down at his Foundation-issued tablet. Notice of transfer. Hello, and welcome to Site-55. We're so glad you could make it. There's a lot of weirdness in the world, especially when you're in our kind of business. Whether it's due to 2 anomalies interacting with each other in unexpected ways, outside interference on behalf of Dr. Wondertainment and Associates, or just plain random luck, we deal with a lot of unusual events here at 55. Did you know that ants started randomly appearing in people's food while they weren't looking? Or that my very own office became an SCP a while back? Now, as you might expect, constantly dealing with the anomalies already in containment, on top of all these bizarre situations, is bound to drive people a little mad. We're all a little mad in our own ways, aren't we? That doesn't mean we're not capable at our jobs. Be it because you studied communications and decided to focus your research on a group of interest, or possess some know-how in extra-dimensional anomalies, you're now a part of our family. With that, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our site. I hope you have a wonderful time here. Dr. J. Everwood. P.S. I have attached a copy of Site-55's dossier. Please make sure to look it over so you know what you're getting into. Can't wait to meet you. Whomever this Everwood person was, they seemed nice at the very least. Maybe being demoted to a mere assistant position wasn't so bad. Maybe this was exactly what he needed. Less responsibility, more room to breathe. He glanced out the window of the transport, which was currently flying over some mountains. Rex then turned his attention back to the tablet and opened the site dossier and continued reading. SCP Foundation Secure Facility Dossier, Research and Containment Facility 55. Official designation, SCP Foundation Group of Interest Research and Containment Facility 55. Site Identification Code, USM-ARD Site-55. General information, founded 26 July 1933. Location, Bedford, Massachusetts. Cover story, Superior Canned Products Food Cannery. Facility specifications. Surface level, first floor, canning facility, trucking depot, checkpoint A. Southern Annex, Task Force, Garrison. Western Annex, External Groups Meeting Hall. Underground Complex, A Wing, 1AA, Checkpoint B. B Wing, 1AB, Intake Department, Acquisitions and Liquidation Department. C Wing, 1AC, Security Office, Security Force Garrison, Medical Quarters. D Wing, 1AD, D-Class Living Quarters. E Wing, 1AE, Personnel, Living Quarters, Cafeteria. Underground Complex, 2. F-Wing 1BA, Administrative Department, Human Resources Department, redacted. G-Wing 2BB, Personnel Offices, H-Wing 3BC, Research Laboratories, Anomalous Communications, and Relations Departments. I-Wing 4BD-5BE, Object Containment Wing. Underground Complex 3. J-Wing 1CA-2CB, Humanoid Containment Wing. K-Wing 3B-4B, Testing Chambers. Underground Complex 4. L-Wing 1DA-2DA, Reza Department, Server Room Digitization, Subdepartments. R-Wing 3DA, Storage. Staffing information. Site Director, Dr. Emily Elder. Assistant Site Director, Dr. Michael Elson. Director of Personnel, Roger Lewandowski. Director of Facilities, Carlos Bedolla. Director of Research, Dr. Justine J. Everwood. Director of Anomalous Communications and Relations, Dr. Cole Thereven. Director of Containment, Nikita Popov. On-site personnel, Department Heads, 25. Staff Doctors, 120. Medical Personnel, 30. Staff Researchers, 254. Field Agents, 93. Administrative Personnel, 49. Maintenance or Janitorial, 53. Security Personnel, 127. D-Class, 110 to 120, maximum of 135. Other Personnel, 17. Testimonials from our anomalous allies. As much as I hate to have to call upon the janitors for assistance, my Galleria occasionally gets an artist who fancies themselves the next Duchamp and sets out to mimic, "Wowee, go kill yourself." Artists, being artists, they respond all sorts of ways to criticism. But when magic is involved, things often get messy. Especially when you tell someone their art is too derivative or too anime to be featured. Ever since Dr. Everwood established a two-way communication system between my Galleria and Site-55, we have had a sharp decrease in artists attempting dangerous pieces, be they aberrations upon cognition or literally stabbing oneself with a smallpox needle. It has made things a lot simpler, a lot cleaner, and a lot easier to maintain patrons. Now, if only the artist would see things from my perspective, instead of simply criticizing me for allying with the man. The Curator, from Are We Cool Yet? Notice from the North American Mana Director. Ever since our humble beginnings as a small charity, we have striven towards making life better for everyone. This is not just because we believe all people are born equally deserving of rights, food, shelter, and clothing, but because we know this to be true. This is core to us, a foundational pillar of Mana itself. I firmly believe the Foundation holds the humanity's best interests at heart, though their means have sometimes prevented Mana from doing the most good we could. However, thanks to the Yonkers Agreement of 2016, the Foundation and Mana are now working in tandem to assist the less privileged, the hungry, the needy of the anomalous world. Alone, we cannot make change, but together we are powerful. Together, we may change the world. Director Harris, Mana Charitable Foundation. To say that our relationship with the Foundation has improved in recent years would be an understatement. Though we may still butt heads over certain uses of Abrahamic artifacts in the Tactical Theology departments and the Sinai, we are happy to work alongside the Foundation in a research capacity. Spera in Dio, Bialam Allah, Belief in God. The Horizon Initiative. The Global Occult Coalition, from the desk of the Under-Secretary General. Most esteemed Director Alder. Working with J. Everwood and Cole Thereven has been an absolute delight. They are astute, attentive, apt, and awe-inspiring in their commitment to diplomacy. The pair helped defuse the LTE 1221 crisis that saw both of our organizations nearly at war. If you do not treat them well, I will not hesitate to snatch them up for my own diplomatic missions. I kid, of course. Sincerely, D.C. All Fine, Under Secretary General, D.C. All Fine, United Nations Global Occult Coalition. This was so fucking boring. Rex set his tablet on the seat next to him and stretched. Why on earth did the Foundation make new researchers read all this stuff? The list just went on and on. Why did he have to know about how many people were in which department there? Why did it matter that they're anomalous allies, that their shit didn't stink? It was a waste of time, but whatever, he would play their game. Additional information. Overview. Located beside Wilson Mill Park in Bedford, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston, Site-55 is the center of the Foundation's research into the groups of interest, GOIs. The site's proximity to the extra-dimensional Wonderworld, TM, location of interest means that the site is involved in containment of a large number of Dr. Wondertainment products, in addition to various objects with known or suspected ties to other organizations. The exterior of the site is disguised as a food cannery, and it operates as one during daytime hours, employing D-Class and Level 1 personnel as part of the frontispiece. History. Following the weakening of the Chicago spirit in the United States, various documents regarding anomalies under her control came into the possession of the ASCII, American Secure Containment Initiative, a Foundation precursor group. One such document detailed an extra-dimensional toy shop used by the Spirit to store alcohol during Prohibition by extorting the shop owner into compliance. Despite being unable to find the toy shop, ASCII initiatives established an outpost in the outskirts of Boston to monitor the goings-on of the extra-dimensional location. During the years between the creation of this outpost and the dissolution of ASCII, creation of the Foundation in 1944, various anomalous children's products started appearing in the Boston area, all of them emblazoned with a gold and purple W. Due to the sudden spike in anomalous activity and the presence of an extra-dimensional location nearby, the newly created Foundation elected to convert the former ASCII outpost into a fully fledged site. The Foundation quickly found itself in an ever-expanding anomalous world, the Global Occult Coalition's Council of 108 forming in the same year as its creation. The Cold War brought about various organizations such as the GOR Division P, the CMA, and Pentagram, and with them various restrictions as to how they could operate across the world. At the time, Site-55 was the largest Foundation site on the east coast of the United States, and as such was selected to serve as a hub for communications between the Foundation and GOIs. Over time, this role expanded to containing objects recovered from other anomalous organizations, such as artwork from Are We Cool Yet?, cells based out of Backdoor Soho, and recipes from Ambrose restaurants in the area. In the modern era, Site-55 is effectively the leading center of group of interest research, and with the notable exception of two groups. The exceptions to this rule are Wilson's Wildlife Solutions and Anderson Robotics, which are both managed by Site-64, serves as the Foundation's hub of anomalous group communications. Dr. C. Thereven of the Anomalous Communications and Relations Department, Dr. J. Everwood of the GOI Research Department often work hand in hand in acquiring new anomalous objects from GOIs. The two departments typically perform joint field operations and conduct meetings with groups such as Global Occult Coalition, the Horizon Initiative, ORIA, and Marshall, Carter, and Dark. Due to the efforts of Everwood and Thereven, cooperation between the Foundation and multiple GOIs has been made possible within the last 15 years. Despite this, various hostile, such as the Chaos Insurgency, Serpent's Hand, Are We Cool Yet, etc., or at least uncooperative, Gamers Against Weed, Sapphire, Pentagram, etc., GOIs continue to populate the world. The Foundation's policy on such groups remains as containment first, research later. This policy has recently been subject to scrutiny due to an overwhelming amount of personnel from Site-55 suggesting that in order to contain these groups, proper knowledge is required. This shift in policy would require a large influx of new researchers to be hired to work at Site-55 and is considered controversial by the Foundation's administration. Delegation on this matter remains pending O5 Council debate. Update approved by the order of O5 Command. We are so happy to have worked out an agreement with the Foundation, all thanks to Jay. For the unaware, they agree to allow us to continue to operate within Freeport's, Nexuses, and other enclaves on the condition that we provide catering for conferences. It's a fine deal to us. We just love to cook, and we love seeing people's faces after they eat our delicious food. Thank you so much. Keep up the great work, Jay. We'll always have a Virgin Shirley Temple ready for you at our bars. Yours truly, Chaz Ambrose. Notice from Christopher Michelson to Director E. Adler, Dr. J. Everwood. Topic: Here's to another 5 years. Skippers are bastards. That's what Hoover would always say about your organization, but following the events of January 2021, I cannot deny that the Foundation's assistance in detaining criminals, both anomalous or not, has been a great boon to the FBI. Your ability to surveil is unparalleled, and working in tandem, we were able to stop Crocker from destroying our democracy. Thank you for all of your work, and here's to another 5 years of cooperation. This was getting masturbatory. Rex groaned and started mindlessly swiping through the streams of recognition awards from people and organizations he had never even heard of before, but was sure he would hear from constantly in the future. Some moments later, he realized the screen had been possessed by a purple glow. He blinked and looked down at the tablet, narrowing his eyes. Dearest Rex Alces, in the Foundation's efforts to make their site seem all the more fun, it appears they have created a pretty dull and uninteresting document. I welcome you to see how we do it over on our end of things, and who knows, you might learn a thing or two about our beloved Wonder World. Have a wondertastic day. Wollygog Wonder Warforeign, Wonder-Making Department. View attachment? He looked to the front of the transport where two faceless pilots were manning the vehicle. They hadn't said a word to him since he boarded. Rex opened his mouth momentarily, but decided against speaking out. Worst case scenario, the Foundation shoot him out. What were they going to do? Fire him? With nothing to lose, he tapped the attachment. View attachment?